Admiral Lisa Taylor stood at the large window of the Earthship Hope, watching as humanity's future changed forever. The stars looked different from this part of space, so far from home. Her hands trembled slightly as she adjusted her uniform. The weight of representing humanity rested on her shoulders. "It's actually happening," whispered Captain Rodriguez beside her. "First contact with the Galactic Council." The Earth shuttle carried their best diplomats toward the massive ring-shaped station ahead. This meeting was the result of 3 years of careful messages back and forth after alien signals had been detected near Jupiter. Apollo, Lisa's golden retriever, pressed against her leg, sensing her anxiety. She reached down to stroke his soft fur. The dog had been her constant companion since the terrible accident at the Mars colony 5 years ago. 23 people lost, including her brother. The nightmares still came sometimes, but Apollo always woke her, licking her face until the E. Dark memories faded. "You know they might find it strange we bring animals with us," Rodriguez said, nodding toward Apollo. Lisa smiled. "He's my therapy assistant, officially recognized. Besides, I think showing them how humans bond with other species might help them understand us better." On the main screen, they watched as Earth's shuttle docked at the station. The delegation walked through a long curved hallway with walls that seemed to shift colors like an ocean at sunset. The Galactic Council chamber was enormous. 7 different alien species sat in raised seats forming a half circle. Each looked nothing like the others. One had blue skin that glowed slightly and 6 arms. Another resembled a giant praying mantis with emerald eyes. The tallest ones had gray skin with ridges and breathed through gills on their necks. "The 7 oldest spacefaring races," Lisa whispered to Apollo, who sat obediently beside her chair. "They've been working together for over 1,000 years." The Earth diplomats bowed respectfully. The council leader, a being with golden skin and 4 eyes, spoke in perfect English through some kind of translator. "Humans of Earth, we welcome you to the greater galactic community. For centuries, we have watched your development with interest." As the meeting continued, Lisa noticed several of the alien representatives kept looking at Apollo. The dog remained perfectly behaved, but his tail wagged whenever an alien glanced his way. During a break in the talks, a smaller alien with purple fur approached Lisa cautiously. "This creature accompanies you freely?" it asked in a musical voice. "Yes," Lisa explained. "This is Apollo, my companion and helper. On Earth, humans form deep bonds with animals like dogs. They become part of our families." The alien blinked large silver eyes. "Fascinating. In all our travels, we've never seen a species who forms emotional attachments to non-sentient life forms. May I touch him?" Lisa nodded, and Apollo sat patiently as the alien gently patted his head. "Extraordinary," the alien whispered. "He feels joy at this interaction." Word spread quickly among the council members. Soon Apollo became the center of attention, with aliens taking turns meeting him. The Earth diplomats exchanged hopeful glances. This unexpected connection might help bridge the vast differences between humans and these advanced civilizations. Later, as Lisa prepared for bed in her quarters, Apollo curled up at her feet. "You're the star of this mission now," she told him with a smile. "Maybe you just helped secure humanity's place among the stars." She didn't know then that this small, happy moment would soon lead to the greatest crisis Earth had ever faced. 3. Months after humanity's first meeting with the Galactic Council, 5 alien ships arrived at Earth. The world watched in awe as these massive vessels, each shaped differently to match their builders' homeworlds, entered orbit. The government had prepared a special reception area in Geneva, transforming the old UN headquarters into a space suitable for beings from other worlds. Admiral Lisa Taylor stood tall as the alien delegates emerged from their transport ships. She recognized most from the earlier meeting, but one stood out: High Counselor Zexler of the Vrexian Empire. Standing nearly 8 feet tall with grayish-blue skin and 4 arms, he carried himself with unmistakable authority. His eyes, yellow, with vertical pupils like a cat's, seemed to judge everything they saw. "Welcome to Earth," said President Chen, extending his hand in greeting. Most aliens attempted the human handshake, though some with multiple limbs found it awkward. Zexlar merely nodded, keeping his 4 arms crossed. The delegation toured key sites around the world over 3 days. At each stop, crowds gathered to catch glimpses of the visitors from space. By the 3rd day, everyone noticed Zexlar's growing irritation. During the formal dinner at the White House, Lisa brought Apollo, as part of her official detail. The golden retriever, wearing his therapy dog vest, stayed perfectly behaved beside her chair. Other aliens had shown interest in Earth's pets during their visit, with some even requesting to visit animal shelters to see more examples of human-animal bonds. Zexlar, however, kept his distance from all Earth animals. When Lisa entered the room with Apollo, she noticed his posture stiffen. "You bring that creature to a diplomatic function?" he asked, voice cold. Lisa explained Apollo's role as her therapy assistant, but Zexlar cut her off. "On developed worlds, lesser species know their place. Your attachment to this animal shows primitive thinking." The room grew uncomfortably quiet. President Chen tried to change the subject, directing everyone to their seats for dinner. As they moved toward the dining hall, Apollo trotted a few steps ahead of Lisa, tail wagging. The dog, sensing no ill will from anyone, approached Zexlar with friendly curiosity. What happened next occurred too quickly for anyone to prevent. Zexlar leapt backward, his hand moving to a device on his belt. 2 security officers rushed forward, but stopped when the alien roared in his native language. "The beast challenges me," he shouted when his translator caught up. "On Vrex, only those seeking to overthrow a leader approach directly," Lisa quickly called Apollo back. "He means no harm. He's just being friendly." "Friendly?" Zexlar's voice dripped with disgust. "You fail to control your subordinate creatures and call it friendship?" President Chen attempted to explain Earth's different cultural norms regarding animals, but Zexlar refused to listen. "If Earth wishes to join the galactic community, you must learn proper hierarchy. Lesser beings approaching their betters without permission is unacceptable." The dinner proceeded with unbearable tension. Afterward, Lisa found President Chen looking worried. "How bad is this?" she asked. He sighed. "The other delegates apologized for Zexlar's behavior, but they warned me his empire controls key trade routes. We can't afford to make an enemy of him." Lisa looked down at Apollo, peacefully sleeping by her feet, unaware he'd nearly caused an interplanetary incident. "I don't trust him," she whispered. "Something tells me he's not just offended. He's looking for reasons to dislike us." The week of diplomatic meetings was coming to an end, with a special demonstration of Galactic Council technology. The event was held at a military base in Nevada, far from civilian populations. Giant tents had been set up on the desert floor, with strange machines and devices arranged for Earth officials to observe. Admiral Lisa Taylor stood with other military leaders and politicians, Apollo at her side as always. Despite the tension from previous days, things seemed to be proceeding smoothly. The aliens had shown Earth representatives medical devices that could heal wounds instantly, energy generators that required no fuel, and communication systems that worked across vast distances without delay. "This technology could change everything for humanity," whispered General Thompson beside her. "Think about what this could mean for our people." High Counselor Zexlar approached their group, flanked by 2 other aliens. His yellow eyes narrowed when he spotted Apollo. "Admiral Taylor, I see you continue to bring your pet to official functions," he said, his translator making his words sound even colder than intended. "Apollo is a certified therapy animal and part of my official detail," Lisa replied calmly, though her hand tightened on Apollo's leash. Zexlar tilted his head. "Perhaps you misunderstand. In the galactic community, we have protocols about bringing unknown biological entities into proximity with sensitive technology." Before Lisa could respond, he pulled out a silver device from his robes. "Allow me to demonstrate our standard scanning procedure. It will ensure your animal poses no risk to our equipment." President Chen, standing nearby, nodded slightly to Lisa. They needed to show willingness to cooperate with council procedures. "Very well," Lisa said reluctantly. "What does he need to do?" "Simply remain still," Zexlar said, pointing the device at Apollo. The golden retriever sat obediently, brown eyes trusting. The silver device hummed softly as it lit up with blue light. Suddenly, the light changed to harsh red. Apollo had no time to make a sound. One moment he was there, the next, nothing but a small pile of grey ash on the ground. Lisa fell to her knees, a scream tearing from her throat. "Apollo, no!" Around her, Earth officials reacted with shock and horror. Security personnel immediately raised weapons, pointing them at Zexler. "Stand down!" ordered President Chen, though his face had gone pale. "What have you done?" Lisa demanded, voice breaking as she stared at the small pile of ash that had been her beloved companion seconds before. Zexler tucked the device back into his robes. The scan detected aggressive biological markers. The device neutralized a potential threat, as it is designed to do. "He was just a dog," cried Lisa, tears streaming down her face. "He wasn't a threat to anyone." "Your emotional reaction proves my point about your species' primitive attachments," Zexler said. "In the galactic community, security protocols supersede sentiment. If Earth wishes to join our ranks, you must learn to accept the established hierarchy of species and procedures." The other alien delegates shifted uncomfortably, but none spoke against Zexler. President Chen helped Lisa to her feet, his own hand shaking with anger. "This demonstration is over," he announced. "I request the council delegates return to their ships immediately." As the aliens departed, Lisa stood frozen, staring at the small pile of ash that was all that remained of her faithful friend. In that moment, something inside her changed forever. "This isn't over," she whispered, too quietly for anyone to hear. The video spread across the globe within hours. Someone had recorded the entire incident on their phone, Apollo sitting obediently, the flash of red light, and then nothing but ash. By nightfall, every news channel on Earth showed the footage on repeat. "Alien delegate deliberately kills American officer's therapy dog. First galactic murder on Earth soil." Apollo's last moments. Watch the shocking video. People gathered in city squares, many bringing their own dogs with homemade signs. "Justice for Apollo and Earth stands united." Children left dog toys at makeshift memorials. Even those who had been skeptical of the alien alliance now joined. The outrage. Admiral Lisa Taylor sat alone in her quarters at the military base, staring at nothing. Her hands still felt empty without Apollo's leash. For 5 years he had been her constant companion, waking her from nightmares, pressing against her during panic attacks, giving her a reason to keep going after the Mars disaster. On her coffee table sat Apollo's collar, rescued from the pile of ash. She couldn't bring herself to touch it. Her phone had been ringing non-stop until she finally turned it off. The president had called twice, various news outlets dozens of times. But what was there to say? The aliens had shown exactly what they thought of Earth and its people. A soft knock at her door broke the silence. Admiral Taylor. It was Lieutenant Jones, her aide. "Ma'am, there's an emergency meeting of the Joint Chiefs in 1 hour. They've requested your presence." "Tell them I'm not coming," Lisa said, her voice hollow. "Ma'am, the president will be there. They're discussing our response to the incident." Lisa closed her eyes. What response could possibly matter now? We've seen what they can do, what they think of us. The lieutenant hesitated, then slid an envelope under her door. "This just came for you, ma'am, hand-delivered by special courier." After he left, Lisa picked up the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper with just one line of text. "Authorization Protocol Cerberus activated. Report to Cheyenne Mountain immediately. General Wilson." Lisa stared at the message for a long moment. Protocol Cerberus. In 15 years of military service, she'd never heard of it. Her secure phone buzzed with a text. "Car waiting for you. It's outside. Come alone." Something about the message cut through her grief. She stood up, tucked Apollo's collar into her pocket, and grabbed her jacket. Outside, a black SUV with government plates waited. The driver said nothing as she got in, simply handing her a blindfold. "Is this really necessary?" she asked. "Protocol, ma'am," was all he said. As they drove into the night, Lisa's mind raced. Cheyenne Mountain housed NORAD, the nerve center of America's aerospace defense. What could they possibly want with her? The SUV took several detours, seemingly random turns and backtracking. After nearly 3 hours, she felt the vehicle descend, driving deep underground. When the blindfold came off, she found herself in a massive tunnel. Ahead stood General Wilson, a man she'd met only twice before. "Admiral Taylor," he said solemnly. "I'm sorry about Apollo." "Thank you, sir," she replied automatically, "but I don't understand why I'm here." "You're here," he said, "because Earth is about to show its teeth." General Wilson led Admiral Lisa Taylor deeper into the mountain through tunnels that weren't on any official map. They passed through 5 security checkpoints, each requiring different verification: retinal scans, voice recognition, and handprints. After nearly 30 minutes of walking, they reached a massive steel door with no markings. "What you're about to see has been kept secret from 99.9% of Earth's population," General Wilson said as the door slowly opened. "Only 800 people on the entire planet know about this program." Lisa stepped through the doorway and froze. They stood on a metal balcony overlooking an underground cavern, so vast she couldn't see the far end. Below them, hundreds of people worked at computer stations, moving between different sections of the facility with purpose. And suspended from the ceiling of the cavern were ships, not like any aircraft Lisa had ever seen, but sleek vessels with no visible engines or wings. "What am I looking at?" she whispered. "Project Cerberus," General Wilson answered. "Earth's insurance policy." He guided her down to the main floor where they boarded a small electric cart. As they drove through the facility, Lisa saw more ships, some small enough for a single pilot, others larger than aircraft carriers. "How is this possible?" she asked. "This technology is beyond anything we've developed." They stopped at a sealed room. Inside, behind thick glass, sat what looked like a crashed spaceship, partly disassembled. "Roswell, 1947, Wilson said. "That wasn't the first or the last. Since the 1940s, we've recovered 17 different alien vessels from various crash sites around the world. Instead of telling the public, a secret coalition of nations decided to reverse engineer the technology." Lisa's mind reeled. "But the aliens, they act like we're technological infants." "That's exactly what we wanted them to think." Wilson smiled grimly. "For 70 years, we've maintained the illusion of being far less advanced than we actually are. We have ships that can travel to the edge of our solar system in days, weapons that can pierce any known shield, and defensive systems that can withstand massive energy attacks." "How many ships do we have?" Lisa asked. 512. Combat-ready vessels, another 100 in final testing. Lisa sank into a chair, overwhelmed. "Why keep this secret? This could have changed everything for humanity." "Because we didn't know what was out there," Wilson replied. "The coalition leaders feared that if we revealed our true capabilities too soon, we might attract the wrong kind of attention. Project Cerberus was created for one purpose only: to defend Earth if first contact went badly." He placed a hand on her shoulder. "Lisa, we need you. You've dealt with these aliens directly. You know how they think, how they act. What exactly are you asking me to do?" Wilson handed her a small box. Inside was a commander's insignia, unlike any in the official military. "The Cerberus fleet needs a leader," he said. "Someone who understands what's at stake. Someone with a personal reason to ensure Earth gets the respect it deserves." Lisa closed her fingers around the insignia, feeling the weight of it. She thought of Apollo, of the casual cruelty of Zexlar, of the ash that was all that remained of her friend. "When do we begin?" she asked. At exactly 0600 hours, Admiral Lisa Taylor stood on the bridge of the massive ship Cerberus Prime. Her new uniform felt strange, black with silver trim, no country flags or traditional military insignia. The ship hummed with power. Around her, systems far beyond what the public believed humans could build. "All vessels report ready, Admiral," said Commander Wilson, her second in command. "Operation Watchdog is go." Lisa took a deep breath. In her pocket, she carried Apollo's collar, a reminder of why they were here. "Send the signal." Across Earth, hidden doors began to open. In the deep Pacific, the ocean suddenly parted as massive hangar doors revealed themselves. From the dark waters rose sleek black ships, water streaming off their hulls as they climbed into the sky. On the far side of the moon, crater floors slid open, revealing underground bases where hundreds of ships had waited for decades. They launched in perfect formation, engines glowing with blue energy unknown to public science. Beneath the red soil of Mars, more doors opened. Earth's secret fleet had been hiding in plain sight, scattered across the solar system, waiting for this day. Within 1 hour, 500 vessels converged around Earth, forming a protective sphere. Some were small and fast, others massive like floating cities. All carried technology that would have seemed like magic to most humans just days before. On the Galactic Council, ships still orbiting Earth, alarms blared. Their sensors hadn't detected the hidden bases or the approaching fleet until they were already in position. "Admiral, we're receiving urgent communication requests from all 7 Council species," reported Lieutenant Rodriguez. "Put them on screen," Lisa ordered. High Councillor Zexelar's face appeared, his yellow eyes wide with shock. For once he seemed at a loss for words. "What is the meaning of this?" he finally demanded. "Where did these vessels come from? Your species does not possess this level of technology." Lisa looked directly into the camera. "You were shown what we wanted you to see, Counselor. Humanity has never been as helpless as you believed." "This is a violation of galactic law," Zexelar shouted. "Concealing military capabilities during alliance negotiations." "We were never negotiating," Lisa interrupted. "You were assessing whether Earth was weak enough to control. You made your intentions clear when you murdered an innocent creature, simply to demonstrate your power." The bridge crew stood silent, watching history unfold. "The Council will not tolerate this show of aggression," Zexelar threatened. Lisa leaned forward. "This isn't aggression, Counselor. This is a demonstration. Your ships are currently surrounded and outgunned. Had we wanted to attack, you would already be dust." She nodded to her communications officer, who sent a message to every Council ship. "You killed one of ours. Now you'll see what happens when humanity bares its teeth." The message was accompanied by detailed scans of Council ship weaknesses, proving that Earth had been studying them all along. "Return to your Council," Lisa concluded. "Tell them humanity is not joining their alliance as a junior partner. We will meet as equals, or not at all." As Zexelar's image vanished from the screen, cheers erupted across the bridge. For the first time in history, humanity had revealed its true strength to the stars. Lisa touched Apollo's collar in her pocket. "This is for you, boy," she whispered. The Council chamber on Proxima Station buzzed with panic as all 7 species gathered for an emergency session. The massive holographic displays showed Earth's fleet surrounding their ships, 500 vessels that hadn't existed in any intelligence report just hours before. High Elder Kree of the Artheon spoke first, their insect-like mandibles clicking nervously. "How is this possible? Our deep scans showed them barely capable of reaching their own moon without chemical propulsion." "They deceived us," growled High Councillor Zexelar, pounding one of his 4 fists on the table. "They deliberately projected technological weakness while building this armada in secret." The chamber erupted in overlapping voices until First Speaker Talia of the blue-skinned Lumarians raised her 6 arms for silence. "The question is not how they hid from us, but what we do now," she said calmly. "Our ships report being completely surrounded. The human vessels possess shielding our sensors cannot penetrate." A hologram appeared in the center of the chamber, showing Earth's flagship, the massive black vessel designated Cerberus Prime. Its design followed no known engineering principles in Council space. "We must respond with overwhelming military force," Zexelar insisted. "Summon the combined fleet. We will crush these deceptive primitives before they become a greater threat." Elder Moz, the oldest member from the gaseous Nebulon species, floated forward. "And start an interstellar war? We know nothing of their true capabilities. The fact they concealed this level of technology suggests they may have other surprises." As they argued, new alarms sounded. The display changed to show 3 Earth vessels passing directly through the supposedly impenetrable defensive shields around Proxima Station. "Impossible!" shouted the Vrexian military commander. "Those barriers can stop anything in known space." "Apparently not," Elder Moz replied dryly. The chamber fell silent as one of the Earth ships positioned itself directly outside the Council chamber's viewing window. It hovered there, its strange blue engines pulsing steadily, close enough that the Council members could see humans moving inside. "They're taunting us," Zexelar hissed. First speaker Talia shook her head. They're sending a message. They could have attacked at any time, but instead, they're showing us exactly what they can do. Our entire defense strategy is based on technological superiority, said the Artheon representative. If humans have been capable of this all along, what else might they be hiding? Reports flooded in from across Council space. Earth vessels had appeared near every major Council world, bypassing defense systems as if they weren't there. None had fired weapons or made aggressive moves. They simply watched. The humans call this sending a message, explained the Council's human culture expert. They're establishing boundaries after the incident with the animal. Zexela's yellow eyes narrowed. Over a mere pet. This display of force for a simple animal. I believe we severely misunderstood something fundamental about humans, Elder, Moz said quietly. The bond they share with other species isn't primitive. It's central to who they are. By killing the Admiral's companion, you may have triggered something we cannot control. As the Council debated their response, Earth ships continued to demonstrate capabilities that defied Council science, phasing through solid matter, appearing and disappearing at will, and sending communications that couldn't be blocked or traced. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Galactic Council faced a species they couldn't intimidate, and they were terrified. 48 hours after Earth revealed its hidden fleet, Admiral Lisa Taylor stood on the bridge of Cerberus Prime, watching the tactical display. Red dots marked Council military bases across 7 homeworlds. One by one, the dots blinked and vanished as Earth ships completed their precisely timed strikes. Status report, she ordered. All targets neutralized, Admiral, responded Commander Wilson. 0 civilian casualties. We've disabled their orbital defense platforms, weapons manufacturing facilities, and military command centers. Their fleet is grounded, Lisa nodded. Open a direct channel to the Council chamber. The main screen flickered to life, showing all 7 Council representatives. Gone was their usual air of superiority. Now they watched with wide eyes as a human dictated terms for the first time in galactic history. Members of the Galactic Council, Lisa began, Apollo's collar wrapped around her wrist like a bracelet. As you've now witnessed, Earth could have destroyed your civilizations today. Instead, we chose to disable only your military capabilities. She stepped closer to the screen. We don't want war, we never did. But we will not be treated as lesser beings. First speaker Talia spoke up, her blue skin pale with stress. What are your demands, Admiral? 3 things, Lisa replied. First, Earth will be recognized as an equal power in the galactic community, with all the rights and protections that entails. The Council members looked at each other, then nodded reluctantly. Second, the individual responsible for the murder of Apollo will face justice. Lisa's eyes locked onto Zexela, who seemed to shrink under her gaze. And third, she continued, the Council will establish and enforce what will be called the Apollo Accords, a set of laws protecting companion species across the galaxy. No sentient being's companion will ever again be harmed without severe consequences. Elder Moz floated forward. These terms are acceptable, but I must ask, why show restraint? You clearly have the power to do much worse. Lisa touched the collar at her wrist. Because Apollo wouldn't have wanted more death. He greeted strangers with trust and friendship, not violence. We're honoring his memory by offering the same chance to you. The Council chambers fell silent. Commander Wilson, Lisa said, transmit the full text of the Apollo Accords to the Council. On screens across the chamber, the document appeared. Carefully drafted protections for bonds between all species and their companions, with strict penalties for violations. You have 1 planetary rotation to sign, Lisa informed them. If you refuse, or if you ever attempt to rebuild your military capabilities without Earth's knowledge, what you've seen today will seem merciful by comparison. As the transmission ended, Lisa looked out at the stars. For a moment she thought she felt a familiar warmth against her leg, a phantom memory of Apollo standing beside her. Fleet command to all vessels, she announced, her voice steady. Hold their positions. The ball is in their court now. Across space, 500 Earth ships maintained their vigil, a protective ring around humanity's home, and a warning to any who might threaten it again. Lieutenant Rodriguez approached quietly. Do you think they'll sign, Admiral? Lisa smiled slightly. They don't have much choice. Today, humanity showed the galaxy who we really are, not just our teeth, but our heart as well. 1 year had passed since humanity revealed its true power to the galaxy. Admiral Lisa Taylor walked through the gleaming halls of the new council chamber, built in Earth orbit as a symbol of the changing balance of power. Sunlight streamed through crystal windows, illuminating representatives from 12 species. The original 7 council members, plus 5 new races invited by Earth to join the expanded alliance. Beside Lisa trotted Nova, a black and white border, collie with intelligent eyes. The dog wore a special vest, marking her as both a therapy animal and an official Earth representative. Around her neck hung a collar with a small pendant, a golden retriever silhouette with the name Apollo engraved beneath it. Admiral Taylor, greeted first speaker Talia, her blue skin shimmering as she bowed, a gesture that would have been unthinkable a year before. The council is ready to begin the anniversary session. The chamber fell silent as Lisa took her place at Earth's permanent seat. Unlike the old hierarchical arrangement, the new circular design placed all representatives at equal height and distance. 1 year ago today, Lisa began, the Apollo Accords were signed. Today, we celebrate not just peace between our worlds, but a fundamental shift in how we understand each other. Nova sat attentively at her side. Around the chamber, Lisa noticed several council members had brought their own companion animals, creatures from various worlds who had formed bonds with their alien caretakers. The practice had spread rapidly after the Accords were signed. A species throughout the galaxy discovered the joy of interspecies companionship. The Companion Exchange Program has linked 32 worlds, reported Elder Moz. Bonds between different species have created understanding that centuries of diplomacy could not achieve. Lisa smiled as she remembered how it all began. After E. The Accords were signed. Earth had shared its knowledge of animal care and training. The concept of therapy animals had particularly resonated across the galaxy, with many species discovering that companions from other worlds could help heal emotional wounds in ways their medicine couldn't. After the session, Lisa visited the sprawling interspecies companion sanctuary located on the station's lower level. Dogs, cats, and animals from a dozen worlds roamed freely in carefully designed habitats. In one corner, a familiar figure with grayish-blue skin and 4 arms carefully groomed a 3-legged puppy. Zexler, once the feared High Counselor, now wore the simple uniform of a sanctuary caretaker. His sentence for Apollo's death had been unexpected, not imprisonment or execution, but a lifetime of service caring for the creatures he had once considered beneath notice. He looked up as Lisa approached, his yellow eyes showing something new, humility, perhaps even understanding. "The little one is doing well," he said quietly, nodding to the puppy. "She was abandoned because of her missing leg. I've named her Hope." Lisa watched as he gently wrapped the puppy in a blanket. "You're learning," she observed. "Every day," Zexler replied. "I never understood before the connection. Now I cannot imagine living without it." As Lisa left the sanctuary with Nova padding beside her, she gazed out at Earth shining blue and green in the distance. The galaxy had indeed learned an important lesson. Humans would always extend a hand in friendship first, but if that hand was bitten, the consequences would be swift and absolute. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their hidden fleets or advanced technology. It was in their capacity to love across boundaries and to fight with everything they had to protect that love.